There is a kind of pain nobody talks about. It's not failure. It's not tragedy. It's not crisis. It's silence. You pray, nothing moves. You work, nothing changes. You improve, nobody notices. And after a while, you stop asking, why is this happening? You start asking something worse. Did I get skipped? That quiet suspicion that somehow you were overlooked, passed over, left behind. You see other people accelerating, doors opening, opportunities multiplying. And you, still here, still waiting, still invisible. If that's where you are, stay with me. Because what feels like abandonment might actually be construction. And if you misunderstand this season, you will sabotage the very thing being built inside you. The real pain isn't delay, it's misinterpretation. We assume silence means rejection. We assume delay means punishment. We assume invisibility means insignificance. But what if the season that feels like neglect is actually preparation? What if nothing is wrong except your interpretation of what's happening? Most people quit in silent seasons because they believe silence means absence. But silence is not absence. Silence is structure forming underground. Let me share this with you. There's a story about bamboo. For years after it's planted, nothing appears above ground. You water it, you protect it, you nurture it, still nothing. Then suddenly, within weeks, it shoots up dozens of feet. People think it grew overnight. It didn't. It was building root depth strong enough to support rapid visible growth. If it had grown upward earlier, it would have collapsed under its own height. The visible explosion required invisible reinforcement, and your life works the same way. We live in a world addicted to visible proof. If it's not public, it doesn't count. If it's not applauded, it doesn't matter. If it's not viral, it's irrelevant. So when your growth is internal, when your change is invisible, when your work is unnoticed, you assume you're losing. But internal strengthening is louder than applause. You just can't hear it. But there's a deeper issue. Here's the truth most people won't admit. You don't actually want success. You want reassurance. You want confirmation. You want visible validation that what you're doing is working. And when validation disappears, so does your stability. That's the real problem. Your peace is attached to feedback, and feedback is unreliable. If your confidence depends on outcomes, you will collapse every time outcomes delay. Let me give you a different lens. Silence is not a verdict. It is an invitation to build something that applause cannot give you, internal stability. Because the most dangerous thing is not delay, it's premature visibility. Success without structure creates fragile people. Recognition without depth creates insecurity. Acceleration without maturity creates implosion. And some seasons are designed to make sure you don't break when you finally rise. Here's the solution. You must stop measuring your life by what's happening externally and start measuring it by who you are becoming internally. Create an internal reference point, an anchor inside you that does not move when circumstances do. Ask yourself daily, am I more disciplined than last year? Am I more grounded than last month? Am I more honest than last week? That's progress, not followers, not money, not applause. Character stability. Because external momentum without internal alignment always collapses. Example, David in the desert. Before David became king, he was alone in caves, anointed but hunted, promised but pursued. He could have interpreted delay as betrayal, but the wilderness was training him to rule without insecurity. If he had ascended immediately, he might have ruled from ego. Silence refined him. So here's why you feel forgotten. You feel forgotten because you're measuring your life from the outside, but your life is being built from the inside. The world measures speed. God measures stability, and stability takes time. Roots are slow, but storms respect roots. Delay is not denial. Delay is strengthening. Delay is alignment. Delay is insulation against future collapse. When nothing seems to be happening, look deeper. Are you more patient? More disciplined? Less reactive? More aware? That's growth, and it's the kind that doesn't disappear overnight. So what do you do in a silent season? 3 things. Detach from immediate results. Stop checking for proof every week. Track internal progress instead of external applause. Journal your emotional reactions. Measure stability. Commit to consistency without drama. Keep showing up without announcement, without needing response. Because when your internal structure solidifies, external progress becomes inevitable. Here's the hard truth. You're not stuck. You're being reinforced. But reinforcement feels like stagnation to people who only value movement. And if you quit during reinforcement, you'll repeat this cycle again. The silent season will return until you learn to stand without reassurance. Imagine becoming the kind of person who doesn't panic when nothing moves, who doesn't doubt when applause fades, who doesn't shrink when recognition disappears. That's power. That's maturity. That's unshakable stability. And that stability will outlast hype. It will outlast trends. It will outlast temporary success. Here's the final word. If you feel unseen right now, you're not forgotten. You're forming. If you feel delayed, you're not denied. You're deepening. If you feel silent seasons pressing in, don't panic. Stand, root, strengthen. Because when the visible season comes, and it will come, you won't just rise, you'll endure.